Thank you, Chairman Tonko. Today we're marking up a bill to promote American manufacturing and innovation, protect communities and consumers, and address the climate crisis. When we'll first consider H.R. 6160, a bill to extend the authorization for the Chemical Facility Anti-Terrorism Standards Program, commonly referred to as CFATS. Without this bill, the CFATS program will end next month, leaving dangerous chemicals unguarded and the surrounding communities at risk. Now, the CFATS program obviously isn't perfect. We need serious changes in the program to address transparency, environmental justice, worker participation, resilience, and more. And I had hoped to bring up a comprehensive CFATS reauthorization bill to make these important changes. Unfortunately, this administration and some in the Senate want this program to expire. President Trump's budget eliminated the CFATS program, and the Senate Republican chairman responsible for the program has repeatedly said that he supports eliminating it. But eliminating the program with no alternative in place would create unnecessary and unreasonable risks for the communities around these facilities. And for that reason, I have been negotiating with my colleagues on this committee, on the House Homeland Security Committee, and in the Senate to find a path to continue the program. And this bill, I think, provides that path, and I strongly urge all of my colleagues on both sides to support it. The next bill is H.R. 5544, the American Innovation and Manufacturing Leadership Act, or the AIM Leadership Act. This bipartisan legislation offers us a unique opportunity to support American manufacturing leadership, protect consumers, create jobs, and confront the climate crisis, all at zero cost to the taxpayer. And I commend Chairman Tonko and Representatives Olson, Peters, and Stefanik for their leadership on the bill, as well as the 12 other Republicans and 12 other Democrats who've co-sponsored it. I also want to thank the Natural Resources Defense Council, the Chamber of Commerce, and the National Association of Manufacturers for their support. In fact, H.R. 5544 is widely supported by both industry and the environmental community because they recognize that what's good for the economy can be good for the environment and vice versa. The global shift away from hydrofluorocarbons, or HFCs, is already underway. But absent a strong federal framework, American manufacturers risk falling behind in this transition, and American consumers face the risk of price hikes. So H.R. 5544 builds upon our previous experience phasing out ozone-depleting substances and their replacement chemicals. Transitioning away from those substances helped heal the ozone layer, but the shift to HFCs has presented new challenges because they're potent greenhouse gases. Prior phase-downs of ozone-depleting substances have not only been seamless, but also less costly to businesses and consumers than expected. And this bill puts the country on a path to replicate that success. Mr. Chairman, American companies are already developing new innovative alternatives to HFCs, but they have warned that without a federal framework, the transition will be slower, less efficient, and more expensive to consumers than it needs to be. In fact, U.S. manufacturers have indicated they're already at risk of losing their competitive advantage to foreign companies. So if signed into law, H.R. 5544 will help the U.S. maintain its position as a leader in the chemical, appliance, and equipment industries. The legislation will provide the policy certainty manufacturers need to reap the benefits of their investments in innovation, and it will ensure a transition to next-generation technologies that is predictable and less costly. The AIM Leadership Act will help companies not only to remain competitive in the global market for air conditioning, heating, and other consumer products, but also increase their share of the global market, and it could potentially create tens of thousands of high-quality American jobs, and we expect it will save American consumers billions of dollars. In addition, the climate benefits of transitioning away from HFCs can't be overstated. These chemicals are enormously powerful greenhouse gases. Phasing down their use would significantly reduce climate-damaging emissions, and I'm encouraged by recent bipartisan interest in climate action. And since this legislation comes with zero cost to the federal government, I see no reason why members on both sides of the aisle would not support it. Again, this bill is a win for the economy, a win for consumers, and a win for the environment. And I want to thank my colleagues on both sides for their leadership on both of these bills that we're considering today, and look forward to working to advance the bills to the full committee, where obviously we can continue to work on improvements